Alright, welcome to Music Guru, where rock and metal never die and every classic note still matters. Today we're talking about Geddy Lee's favorite Rush album, and his choice just might surprise you. So if you're a longtime Rush fan, chances are you've got a favorite era like I do. Maybe it's the raw power of 2112, the elegance of A Farewell to Kings, or the synth-rich landscapes of Power Windows. Those are some of my favorites. But in a recent interview, Geddy Lee named his favorite Rush album, and I was really surprised by what he chose. So let's listen in to what Ged had to say right here.
I think I probably would have to choose the last record we did, Clockwork Angels. And you know, every artist says their most favorite is their most recent, and I don't mean just to do that, but there's something about that record that seemed to be a maturation and accumulation of all the various different versions of Rush that we have been over 40 years. Seemed to come together in a really natural way on that record, and I think the songwriting is our strongest and our playing is the most confident. So there's something about that record that's really still I'm quite proud of.
So look, Geddy's reasoning makes total sense in one way. Clockwork Angels is dense, ambitious, and shows the band operating at a really high technical level. But speaking as a fan who grew up on this band, I just don't feel that the album works. I don't feel it emotionally the way I do with the early and mid-career stuff. 2112 blew my mind when I first heard it. A Farewell to Kings was otherworldly. Power Windows is, in my opinion, one of the most perfect albums ever made. And I could go on and on. I'm a big fan of even really early albums like Fly By Night and Caress of Steel. And I think it makes sense that Geddy connects so deeply with Clockwork Angels on a personal level for him, because it's the last album that the band made, and to him this would be the summing up of the entire career. It's really polished, it tells a story, but as fans, we sometimes gravitate more toward the albums that made a deep emotional connection with us, and for me, this one just doesn't make a connection to me on an emotional level. So no shade at all to the album. It's a great capstone to an epic career for one of the greatest bands in history, but for me, it will always be the early albums that really moved me and hold my heart. So now it's your turn. Tell me, what is your favorite album, or do you agree with Geddy's pick? And if not, what is the Rush album that tops your list? Like I said, I've always been a big fan of the early albums, and particularly the Terry Brown era. And while I feel that those are the quintessential Rush albums, my favorite Rush album has always been Power Windows, and I think you can look at that one sort of as a bridge from the old classic sound to the more mid-career techno-driven sound, and then on into the full later career, which of course is capstoned by Clockwork Angels. This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Music Guru here, asking you to help us on our march to 10,000 subscribers.